Hi, this is Pastor Madeline. I am here with Kate McDevitt. Kate is the newest member of our staff team. Kate is our social media coordinator. So, Kate, a lot of our folks aren't super connected on social media. So what does that mean? Can you tell us what it means to coordinate our social media? What do you do?
Sure. So my job sort of has two parts. First is that obviously that social media aspect. So that involves maintaining all of the social media channels. When I joined, you were on Facebook and on YouTube, and I have since added Twitter and Instagram. So the idea is that I create content, usually daily, and I'm able to use those social media channels to disseminate the content to you all. So I come up with content on my own, or I'm given it by someone, and basically it's a way of extending the church sort of virtually. So I'm helping to sort of build that community in the digital world. So it's taking things like sharing the services, sharing quotes, and I can get into a little bit more of that later on. But the idea is just to kind of create a presence and a place for everybody to look and be informed, and also feel like they're part of this community virtually, while you're all still looking for sort of a physical space to return to. And then the second part of the job is maintaining the website. So similarly, keeping the website up to date, putting the sermons online in the archive, updating pages like the breakfast forum, the slideshow, the news and events, and sort of giving you a digital place where you can go for resources.
I have noticed that the website is up to date all the time these days. There's a lot that goes into that, isn't there? I mean, our website was put together by really dedicated volunteers who did a fabulous job, but there's a lot that seems to go into keeping it updated and current.
Sure, yeah, and for an active congregation like yours, there's always something happening. There are always things that you want to make sure that the website covers, so that anybody who's thinking about joining the church or is new to the church can really have an idea of what you're up to, and they don't miss anything important. If they want to attend a social action committee meeting, they know when those meet. Or if they want to start something, they have a place to go to, like the calendar, where they can see where there might be some availability in the schedule, or where they might fit in. There might be things, like the choir that catch their attention, that they want to learn more about, and the website's a great place to do that. So you want to make sure that it's up to date, so that they don't go to your old building expecting to see you there, or just making sure that the programs and the content really reflect what you're doing, and so that people don't miss the great events and opportunities that you have.
One of the things I've noticed is that there's really consistent messaging across all of our platforms right now. I am on different platforms. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and not everybody is. Why is it important, do you think, to have such consistent messaging across all of these platforms and on our website?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like you have a lot of different forms of communication at UUCLV, and it's really easy to miss something. So you might get the e-newsletter one day and see something and then forget about it. But then you may be browsing through your Facebook and it pops up again and it jogs your memory, or you may be asleep when that Twitter message goes out and you don't see the tweet, but then you see it on Instagram a few hours later, because all of the different social media platforms have different algorithms, and it will give you content at different times. So having the similar announcements on platforms is a way of strengthening the messaging that you want to go out, so that people obviously don't miss the things that they need to know about, like the budget meeting or the annual meeting, or the flower ceremony, things that they may really want to be involved in. We don't want that to slip through the cracks. So having consistent messaging just allows us to echo the message. But there are things that I do a little bit differently on each platform. Facebook is a little bit more engaging, and it has that sort of video integration, which is nice. So a lot of the videos, like the welcome to the new office and the sermons and everything, it's a lot easier to see those videos on Facebook than it would be on Instagram, for example, where you can't easily click a link. On Instagram, I highlight photos more, since it's more of a visual platform. And on Twitter, I often obviously need to keep things short, because tweets are very tiny, but it's a lot easier to include links and pictures in that place. And it's also a nice way to amplify voices and retweet content from other sources. So sometimes I'll share things from UUA or UUSJ, or things that other congregations are doing. It's also where I post interfaith calendar events. So when fun holidays come up, that's where those get shared. So each platform is a little bit different, so it's not echoing word for word the exact same messaging, but they do often echo each other in a way to reinforce that stuff, in order to make sure that important message goes out to people.
Thanks. What's something about your job that you wish the congregation knew that you think people probably don't know?
I think that it's difficult for me sometimes to find the right content for you. I live in Northern Virginia. I don't live up there. I wish I could go around to everyone's houses and take pictures of their gardens, or take pictures of the sunset across your hills, but I can't. I'm not up there. So I'm sort of relying on you guys to tell me what's important to your community and what's going on in the world immediately around you. And that's certainly going to be important when you are able to meet in person as well. I'm definitely going to rely on the photographers among you to give me pictures of the fantastic things that you're doing when you're able to meet in person, like the new members who got together to sign the book recently, getting a picture of them and being able to see them and share that with everybody who wasn't able to be there when they signed was so meaningful to me. It was really exciting to be able to strengthen your community digitally and sort of bring them in, even though everybody can't sort of be in the same physical space yet. So sending me music that you like. Every Wednesday I post a midweek music moment, because we love alliteration. So if there's a song that inspires you, or something you've heard on the radio or heard in a sermon or service, or something that has been resonating with you recently or inspired you recently, send it my way and I'll include it. You can stay anonymous if you want, or I can use your name. Some people have been sending me fantastic stories to go with their songs. So I have a few lined up for the next weeks. And then photos also. So like I said, I'm not there in person, but you are. So if there's something that you want to share with the rest of the congregation, send it my way for the Photo Friday, which sounds alliterative, but is spelled slightly differently. And in that, it's basically sort of an extension of the joys part of the joys and concerns. Something in your life, like a new cat, or flowers, or a vacation that you got to go on, or a new book. Anything that's brought joy to your life that you want to share with other people. I'm happy to receive those photos so that I can share them with everybody else, and so that everybody else can experience your joys. It's hard for me to sort of manufacture that stuff on my own, so I'm really relying on the congregation to help me put together the content for those pieces. For other things like the quotations, it's something I love to do. I love to sort of see the topics of the sermons or things that you're discussing and sharing, and find a really nice quote to pair that with, sort of like a digital extension sort of your weekly themes. So it's really fun and creative for me in a way, but in another way, it's got that informative piece. So I really enjoy the social media world because it's a really nice way of balancing that, and just kind of forming forming a following of things that you all want. So if there's something that you'd like to see more of on social media, let me know so that I can focus on it. Or if you decide 2 months in these quotes are just not doing it for me, certainly let me know that too, so that we can work and make it something that everybody wants. I'm here to reflect you and to get to know you.
That's really great. Do you think that the online world can help us to connect to other congregations? Geographically, we're a little bit isolated from other UU congregations. How can we use the online world to help connect us to other UU congregations?
Yeah, definitely. There are all sorts of UU congregations out there. Some are more tech savvy than others. Obviously, a lot of us have had to adapt during the pandemic, and we're maybe more tech savvy than we used to be. But all of them have a social media presence of some sort, and some are doing amazing things on there. You can go to our Twitter, for example, and see some of the UUs that our Twitter follows, our account follows, and you can see what they're up to. I feel like there are a lot of ways similar to the Easter egg scavenger hunt that the UUA put on, of ways of connecting in the digital world. And I feel like many of them are unexplored still. A lot of churches kind of exist in this little bubble. And though we, get together for like General Assembly and other things, we don't have a lot of connection throughout the year. Seeing what other congregations do online is a great way to be inspired about things that you can do in your community. And of course, there are digital things like, Right Here, Right Now, and other sort of online campaigns that lots of UUs participate in. And being able to amplify things like sharing songs from other choirs, or sharing services that others have done, or even poetry from like the worship web section, is a really interesting and sort of untapped thing that we haven't gotten into yet, and I would love to see us be able to connect to others. There are a few congregations, and not all UUs that follow us on Twitter and frequently like our posts. So it's really interesting to see that we're hitting things that they are finding meaningful as well. So I think there's definitely potential for some partnerships to figure out ways, especially in this digital world where lots of us are on Zoom, to do things like pulpit swapping, or even just finding digital service ways of connecting.
That's really interesting that other congregations are following us. It's not just individuals.
Right.
If people want to follow us and get more involved in social media, how can they follow us on social media?
Sure. So at the top of the website, top right of the website, you will see some social media icons. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, which is great. I think you need a lot more followers than we have in order to be able to customize the URL for YouTube. So the YouTube is the only one without a really nice matchy URL. But you can certainly get there. And obviously, if you see the videos on the worship archive, you can get to our YouTube channel there and hit subscribe button. That way you're alerted every time a new video comes out. There's also the Twitters there. So that's twitter.com slash UUCLVPA. And so you can follow us there, subscribe to the tweets. And again, it's usually one a day. Sometimes it's more. So I'm not going to, overload your feed. And then it's the same thing for Facebook, facebook.com slash UUCLVPA, and same for Instagram, instagram.com UUCLVPA. And you can follow us on all of those platforms. And certainly the more people like and engage with posts, the more those posts are seen by people. So the algorithm responds in a way that if it's a post that's very popular, it will show it to more people. So it's a great way for me to see what you all respond to and what you like, so that I can make sure that I give more of that to you, whether it's beautiful flower pictures or cats or faith in action announcements, whatever it is that you enjoy. Hit the like so that I know, but also that Facebook knows, oh, that's something that other people who follow this page should also see. So it helps your fellow congregants to be able to be notified as well.
Thank you. You mentioned cats a couple of times, and we've certainly seen a lot of them on Zoom this year. And I noticed that you have a cat who's sleeping over there with you. Would you introduce us to your cat? Certainly don't wake your cat up, but
Sure. That's Charlie. Ozma, I believe, is under the couch right now. May or may not come out. But yep, that's Charlie. She has been with me for many years. She's named after a character in the TV show Supernatural, because I am a big fangirl. And my cat Ozma is named after Princess Ozma in the Wizard of Oz books, because again, I am a big fangirl. So.
And that's more that we've learned about you. Thank you. So as we're wrapping up, is there anything else that you think is really important for folks to know about you, or what you're doing around social media, or any of the stuff that we've talked about today? Anything that you'd like to leave us with?
Sure. So I did want to mention that I am a UU. I'm in Northern Virginia, and I have for several years now been a member of the Acatink UU here in Burke, Virginia. And I love it. I love our values, and it's been so fascinating to get to see sort of another flavor of the religion, and seeing how you all do this. Obviously, there are many similarities, but we have a social justice committee, and you have a social action committee. So learning the different vocabulary has been fun. And obviously there are different schedules and different worship themes. So it's been really fantastic to get to kind of sort of squeeze myself into your congregation a little bit and learn more. It's been wonderful and enlightening, and has really enriched me spiritually by helping you guys as well. So I've really enjoyed our short time together so far, and I really look forward to all of the wonderful things that I get to see you do in the coming year.
Well, Kate, thanks for talking with me today, and thanks for sharing all of this with the congregation, and for all you do on our social media and keeping us current on the website. And it's been a pleasure talking to you today.